Arjun was born in a small town, the son of a simple school teacher and a mother who always whispered wisdom into his ears. His father often told him that the greatest wealth a man could possess was not gold, land, or jewels, but character. His mother would remind him, "What you plant in your heart today, you will harvest tomorrow." Yet as Arjun grew older, he began to feel restless. Surrounded by people who admired wealth and outward success, he too wanted more. He looked at the shiny cars on the streets, the big houses of businessmen, and the fine clothes of politicians, and his young heart burned with desire. To him, honesty seemed too slow, discipline too harsh, and hard work too tiring. He believed the world belonged to those who were clever enough to take shortcuts. In school, he was intelligent, but his intelligence was wasted because his mind lacked control. He would often copy answers in exams, skip classes when he felt lazy, and lie to his parents about how hard he was studying. Every time he got away with dishonesty, he felt a small thrill, as though he had outsmarted the world. But when he lay awake at night, his conscience whispered to him, and though it was soft, he always silenced it. His undisciplined mind told him, "This is easier, this is better, this is faster," and he believed it. When he turned 19, Arjun went to the city for college. For the first time, he was away from the protective eyes of his parents. At first, he felt free, like a bird flying into the open sky. But freedom without discipline quickly turned into destruction. He started spending money recklessly on things he did not need, skipped important lectures, and surrounded himself with friends who, like him, believed in shortcuts. Exams were coming close, but instead of preparing, Arjun and his group planned to bribe the exam supervisor and get the leaked papers. The night before the exam, as he lay in bed, Arjun's heart beat heavily. He could feel two voices inside him. One whispered temptingly, "Everyone cheats. Why shouldn't you? This is your chance to pass easily, to stay ahead. One small lie won't matter." The other voice, quieter but steadier, said, "Remember your mother's words of what you plant today, you will harvest tomorrow. If you plant dishonesty, you will reap regret." For the first time, Arjun realized that his biggest battle was not with the world or his exams, but with himself. The real enemy was his uncontrolled mind. The next morning, his friends handed him the leaked paper. Arjun held it with trembling hands. The answers were there, the path to easy success laid out in front of him. His friends grinned at him, full of confidence. But in that moment, he closed his eyes and imagined his father walking to school with torn shoes but never lying about anything in his life. He imagined himself 10 years later, rich perhaps, but hollow and guilty, living a life built on falsehood. A wave of shame and clarity washed over him. He tore the paper into pieces right in front of his friends. They laughed at him, mocked him, and called him a fool who would never succeed. But Arjun felt something he had never felt before: real power. Not the power of money, not the power of cleverness, but the power of controlling his own mind. He walked into the exam hall without the leaked paper, without preparation, and yes, he failed that exam. But that night, for the first time in years, he slept peacefully, without the burden of lies. Failure did not break him. It became his teacher. He realized that honesty alone was not enough. It needed the companion of discipline. Without discipline, honesty would remain a seed that never grew. So he began to change his life. He woke up at dawn each day, studied with focus, and avoided unnecessary distractions. He trained his body through exercise and his mind through meditation. Each time laziness tried to seduce him, he whispered to himself, "Control your mind, or it will control you." Slowly, results began to show. His professors noticed his dedication, his classmates respected his honesty, and even his old friends began to see the strength in him. He no longer envied people who gained success through shortcuts, because he had found a deeper success, a self-respect. Years passed. Arjun graduated with honors, something he could never have imagined in his old careless days. He received a scholarship for higher studies abroad and continued to walk the path of discipline. He built habits that carried him forward: reading, planning, working hard, and staying true to his values. What once seemed boring, like honesty and discipline, became his greatest treasures. Step by step, he built a career that stood firm like a tree with deep roots. But life never stops testing us. 10 years later, Arjun had become a successful entrepreneur. He ran his own company, employing many people who depended on him. One day, a business partner came to him with an offer. The deal promised huge profits, but it required manipulating accounts and deceiving clients. It was a shortcut that could make Arjun a millionaire overnight. His employees needed better salaries, his investors wanted faster growth, and his family trusted him as their provider. The voice of greed returned, whispering, "Just this once. No one will know. This is for the greater good." But Arjun had already fought this battle before. He remembered the boy who once tried to cheat in an exam, the paper he tore into pieces, and the peace he felt after choosing honesty. He remembered that a single dishonest choice could destroy everything he had built. He refused the deal with calmness. His partner left angrily, warning him that he was too rigid to survive in the real world. But Arjun knew something his partner didn't: that a castle built on lies would one day collapse, but a life built on honesty and discipline would stand forever. Weeks later, news broke out that his ex-partner was caught in a massive fraud scandal. Many businessmen who had joined hands with him lost everything. But Arjun's company remained safe, respected, and growing. His honesty had saved not just his reputation but the future of hundreds of families who depended on his company. One evening, as Arjun sat with his children on the porch of his house, his son looked at him and asked curiously, "Papa, what is the most powerful thing in the world? Is it money? Is it knowledge? Or is it strength?" Arjun smiled, looked into his son's eyes, and said, "The most powerful thing in the world is the ability to control your mind. Money without honesty will destroy you. Knowledge without discipline will mislead you. Strength without character will harm others. But if you control your mind, you will control everything else." His son tilted his head, listening closely as Arjun continued, "Remember, thieves, an undisciplined mind will whisper lies to you, tempt you with shortcuts, and trap you in regret. But a disciplined mind, guided by honesty, will lead you to peace, respect, and true success. Always choose the harder right instead of the easier wrong. That is real power." His children sat quietly, absorbing every word. Arjun leaned back in his chair, looking at the stars above, feeling grateful for the journey he had walked. He had not become the richest man in the world, but he had become something far greater: an honest man at peace with himself. He had discovered that true freedom is not doing whatever you want, but having the strength to say no to the wrong things. The story of Arjun teaches us that the power of controlling your mind lies in two pillars: in honesty and discipline. They are not easy to practice, but they are the foundation of a life worth living. The world outside will always try to tempt you with lies, shortcuts, and distractions, but the real victory comes when you win the war inside. That victory gives you something no one can take away: self-respect, peace, and the kind of success that never fades.